there's over 6,000 R44s manufactured so far. They started manufacturing them in the early 90s. I think the first flight was in 1990, and they've been extremely popular. And the reason they're so popular is,
while most people never ride one in a significant way, helicopters are a key aviation tool used by many nations all over the world. Some are used for rescue operations like with the Coast Guard. Others use them to recon certain areas as they can hover in the air and thus do grand sweeps of areas. And of course, some kinds of helicopters are used for military purposes. But what might surprise you is just how heavy-duty and impressive certain helicopters are, especially the more secretive models. Allow us to show you 9 of the most insane helicopters you didn't know about. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 9. Boeing AH-64 Apache. The military has a lot of special attack helicopters that allow them to do a variety of missions depending on the terrain. And one of their favorites that they like to use is the Boeing AH-64 Apache, a beast of a helicopter that has custom configurations in certain areas of the craft to make it even more impressive, such as how the cockpit has been altered so that 2 people can fly in it rather than 1, and thus divide up the duties and abilities of the helicopter for maximum use. Furthermore, at the nose of the helicopter is a set of sensors that allows the pilots to see in night vision, thermal vision, and even have the ability to track certain targets, meaning that anything that gets locked in its sights isn't getting away anytime soon. But of course, the real draw of the Boeing AH-64 Apache is the weaponry. It has a chain gun for more spray and pray tactics, and a series of missiles on each wing in order to blow up targets from afar. The craft was introduced in 1986 and has been in use ever since, proving just how good this attack copter is. Number 8. Eurocopter Tiger. For the next helicopter, we head to France, who made the Eurocopter Tiger, a very powerful craft that has been in the works ever since the Cold War. In fact, the original intention of this craft was to be used as an anti-tank helicopter as the nation feared possible Russian attacks across the border, and Russia had a plethora of tanks to bear. However, when the Soviet Union fell, the intent of the helicopter needed to change. It took until 2008 to do that, but when it did, it made history as the first all-composite helicopter to ever be made by Europe. Some of the special features of this helicopter include being able to use stealth technology, having higher amounts of agility, and a glass cockpit. Over the years, many variations of this Tiger helicopter have been made, with each one adding special features that allow things like more missile capabilities and being able to do longer missions. It's served in many nations and is likely to keep being used even with other helicopters being made. Number 7. CAIC Z10. Heading now to China, we take a look at the CAIC Z10, an anti-tank weapon made by the People's Republic for combat should the need arise. And that need came in the 70s, when the Cold War was going on and the Chinese feared that they wouldn't be fully prepared if large armor formations were brought up against them. As such, they went and developed a helicopter in the 1980s to go and counter this kind of offensive should it ever be brought up against them. But as time went on, China found themselves in a bit of a pickle as their reach in terms of trade with other nations got held up, due to things like national incidents and embargoes. So they had to make their own group to go and make this helicopter and ensure that it would meet the needs of combat. When the Gulf War arrived, they needed those helicopters more than ever, but also realized that just having them be anti-tank craft wouldn't work as they needed to defend themselves. By the 2000s, they were finally able to put the CAIC Z10 to good use. And it's said that while it may have been a struggle for them to get it up in the air, once they did, it was worth it. Especially with their radar system, which is said to be one of the best around, and able to not just automatically detect threats, but able to do things like initiative decoy readings or straight-up jam systems. Sometimes you just need to take your time to get it right. Number 6. Eurocopter 3X. The Eurocopter is the fastest helicopter ever built. Interestingly enough, it was built as an experiment to test how far and fast the helicopter could be flown. This copter has a speed of 293 miles per hour, or 472 kilometers per hour. That is indeed very fast, and probably not the speed you were expecting for such a craft, right? To achieve this remarkable speed, the manufacturers ditched the traditional tail rotors and fitted a tractor propeller. Also not something you'd expect, and kind of insane when you think about it. Because using it is one thing, but using it and being able to get up to those kinds of speeds, that's another. It's all designed to help to increase the speed. It's too bad that it was only a prototype and never mass-produced because it would have been a hit. The Sikorsky X2 helicopter may catch up soon, but its engineers still need to rectify its excessive vibrations. Still, with technology growing every year, another craft like this one might be made eventually. Number 5. Airbus EC30. This helicopter is the world's most comfortable, and that's not something you get to say every day. The Airbus EC30 ensured not only comfort, but safety in their design. The helicopter has become the first choice for tours for people all over. Its cabins are larger than those of other helicopters, and passengers benefit from unimpaired visibility courtesy of the wraparound window, showing how their design choices were spot on in making this a comfortable ride. The helicopter also has a section called the fan in fin that is quieter than its competitors. What also makes this helicopter one of the best is that it optimizes fuel and uses a lot less engine power than its rivals. If you're going on a tour in an Airbus EC30, just know that you're in for a super comfortable tour. Number 4. AS350 AStar. The AS350 AStar is an American-manufactured copter and is a light single-engine craft. It has an open cabin and gives the occupants and pilot a wide field of view and is perfect for COPs. It also can transport as much as 6 passengers with the pilot. This helicopter dates back as far as 1974, but it was retired in 2017 by some governments. The helicopter has never exceeded 287 kilometers per hour, or 178 miles per hour, has a range of 662 kilometers and endurance of 4.1 hours. Despite the amazing specifications, another helicopter was designed and preferred by COPs, but this is still one of the best ever made. Number 3. Leonardo AW169 helicopter. This helicopter is popular in the VIP market. Yes, there are VIP helicopters out there. The Leonardo AW169 helicopter is versatile and has a medium weight that comes equipped with a crash-resistant airframe. This no doubt comes in handy when trying to protect those VIPs. Safety aside, it has touchscreen avionics and was designed using a lot of glass to optimize visibility, further making it a safe ride. It can accommodate up to 8 people, and depending on how the interior is configured, it can mirror a luxury jet, which is a fair thing to note given that it costs $8.5 million. Number 2. The Airbus Racer. The Airbus Racer is a very insane helicopter that has speeds of up to 250 miles per hour. The helicopter is described as a rapid and cost-effective rotorcraft, or racer. One of the highlights of this craft is that it was developed to be a part of the Clean Sky 2 initiative by the European Union. This means that it is not only energy efficient, but eco-friendly. It also has an electric-powered start and stop. This helicopter would be loved by any environmentalist pilot, and could be a major thing in the world going forward. Number 1. Airbus H225 Super Puma. The Airbus Super Puma is one of the most versatile helicopters on the market. It can be basically used for anything except probably shooting a missile, since it's not equipped with armory and can fly almost anywhere so long as the pilot is skilled, which is not something all helicopters can say. While it may be slower than other helicopters, its versatility helps to compensate for it. It can carry a lot of cargo and weight and is preferred for companies with drilling operations offshore. It is also popular for search and rescue teams and executive personnel. Another plus is that passengers in this helicopter enjoy super comfortable seats. It's crazy to think about all the ways this helicopter can help people, and that's why it's such a good one. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the helicopters of the world and why some of them are just insane in terms of what they're loaded with and what they can do? Do you think that some of these helicopters are more impressive than certain airplanes that exist? Do you look at some of these helicopters and wish you could go ride in one? Do you know of other helicopters that should be on this list? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.